Based on motivation. The different types of entrepreneurs who can be divided on the basis of the motivation which drove them to become entrepreneurs are innovating entrepreneurs, second, imitative entrepreneurs, third, Fabian entrepreneurs, fourth, drone entrepreneurs. Now they are totally different in their reason why they are into business. Innovative entrepreneurs are totally new to their field. They are dealing with goods and methods of production and markets and organizations which are absolutely new to the field. Imitative entrepreneurs are those which are characterized by special ability to immediately imitate some innovative activity. There is an element of adaptability and they will imitate activities which are suitable for their market. So those are imitative entrepreneurs. Next we go over to Fabian entrepreneurs who are very careful and who are cautious in experimenting with any changes. They will imitate only when it is very sure that their imitation will be selling in the market. There is no chance of failure. Finally, we come over to the drone entrepreneurs who have this intention of not doing anything very new. They are the laggards of the market, and such entrepreneurship may suffer from not being able to cope with the market scenario. With this, we have learned different kinds of entrepreneurs. The next type of entrepreneurs that we will learn about is based on the stages of development. By stages of development, we mean that every entrepreneur goes through different stages in his business cycle, and that determines which type of entrepreneur he is. To begin with, we talk about the first generation entrepreneur. A first generation entrepreneur who is one who has tremendous innovative ability. Nana and his family have taken up entrepreneurial businesses before. He is the first one. He is essentially trying to do something new, and he starts an industrial unit or a service unit, an enterprise to be particular, by making something new for marketing in the demand that he thinks he can cater to. The second kind of entrepreneur we will talk about is a modern entrepreneur who takes up this venture, who is innovative in thoughts, and he is very well prepared with the market. He notes the market demand. He is different from the first generation entrepreneur who is driven by the passion, by his innovative idea. The modern entrepreneur is the one who undertakes the venture only when it suits the market need. So the modern entrepreneur is more driven by the external economic condition and social need. The first generation entrepreneur is basically driven by his intrinsic urge to do something that he wants to do. The third type of entrepreneur under this category is the classical entrepreneur. The classical entrepreneur is one who is focused on the customer, the marketing needs, and his own venture. He is a prototype of an entrepreneur who wants to maximize his economic return with the survival of the farm, but that he is not concerned with supernormal growths. The classical entrepreneur is a more cautious entrepreneur. A classical entrepreneur knows the market, has an innovative idea, makes profits, but is not looking for growing the business by leaps and bounds. A classical entrepreneur is one who is looking at sustainable profits, who is looking at various ways of meeting the market needs and making profits and keeping the business going. Next, we come across to a special kind of entrepreneurial type, which is called the social entrepreneurship. This is a little different from the entrepreneurship we have been talking about. If we look at definitions, the social entrepreneur, yes, does innovative activities, but the most important distinction between a normal entrepreneur and a social entrepreneur is that the social entrepreneur does innovative activities with the aim of creating social value. The aim of creating social value as part of his business, as part of non-profit sector, or as part of the government. This has been defined very nicely by saying that a social entrepreneur is a private sector citizen who plays critical roles in bringing about catalytic changes in the public sector agenda and the perception of certain social issues. We understand that the government is supposed to provide education, hygiene, healthcare, infrastructure. The social entrepreneurs think that they will be able to provide these activities in spite of the government providing them by doing innovative activities that create social value, maybe in the form of education, sanitation, health, human welfare, public policy, advocacy. So we find that social entrepreneurs are business people. Social entrepreneurs are business people who fulfill a need in the market and they want to earn profits. But it is not just earning profits. The social entrepreneur wants to make profits in a way that it can impact society in a big way. It can meet the needs of society, which was not met by commercial entrepreneurs so far. It may so happen that the social entrepreneur looks at different activities of the businesses and identifies that some needs in the market that have not been fulfilled. And social entrepreneur looks at innovative ways of meeting those needs. But when we talk about social needs, we do not mean that the social entrepreneur is looking for charity alone. The social entrepreneur is in business, wants to make profits, and at the same time wants to impact society in a way that it can sustain the business. So we come back to this understanding of social entrepreneurship, which says that the social entrepreneur is one where not only profit is generated, but this profit is generated by making a social impact on the stakeholders of the business. How is this possible? This is possible because social entrepreneurs come up with innovative solutions to social problems. It is essential that the social entrepreneur has an innovative idea. It makes profits from that innovative idea. It continues with its business with that innovative idea. And finally, it is ensurable that the social entrepreneur comes up with a business idea that is replicable and scalable. The social entrepreneurs are different from NGOs. They are different from NGOs in the form that a social entrepreneur generates their own funds. The revenues are recycled in the business. The profits that are made are reinvested in the business so that the social enterprise is not dependent on any other funding agency for their business activities. On the other hand, the NGOs have begun with the same social cause as maybe the social entrepreneur, but the NGOs have started with a grant from an outside agency. Therefore, the mission of the NGO has to be tied with the mission of the funding agency that has given money to the NGO. The NGO also, like the social entrepreneur, wants to fulfill a social need. The NGO also, like the social entrepreneur, wants to remove a social evil. Therefore, we find that the NGO and the social entrepreneur both want to fulfill a social need, address a social problem, bring about improvement in the lives of people in society, but the business model that the social entrepreneur uses is depending on their own funds, generating their own revenue, reinvesting their own profits. But it is different from the NGO in the sense that the NGO generates funds from an outside agency, and at the end of the venture, when the funding has stopped, the NGO cannot sustain its activities. Therefore, to summarize, social entrepreneurship is different from an NGO in the sense that social enterprises are sustainable by themselves, they are repeatable, they are scalable. But the NGO is not sustainable and is dependent on foreign or outside funding for their activities. With this, we summarize our learning on social entrepreneurship. And so, along with social entrepreneurship, you will find that there are many new forms of entrepreneurship which are coming up, like healthcare entrepreneurship, tourism entrepreneurship, and many other specialized forms of entrepreneurship which are coming up. Because as the discussion began today, that entrepreneurship is a key player in the economic development of a country.